Good evening, students. Welcome to my channel, Learn English. My name is Mrs. Sheetal Jain Pillai, and I'm here to present another writing skill, expansion of idea. So after this lesson, you can successfully expand any idea, proverb, or saying without any difficulty. So let's waste no time and get started. So what is expansion of idea? Expansion of idea is nothing but elaborating that idea. Now what is idea? Let's discuss what is idea. An idea can be anything, a text-based topic, any slogans, proverbs, or reflective thought given by famous personalities. Let's discuss how to develop an idea. Expansion of idea or developing an idea can be written in 3 separate paragraphs. The first paragraph will be an introductory paragraph consisting of 5 to 6 lines, followed by the second paragraph citing examples and details of the idea. And the third paragraph will be the conclusion paragraph. So, we need to explain the meaning of the idea in the first paragraph, which means the introductory paragraph. In the second paragraph, we can mention short examples of the lives of famous people, or we can also give current national or international events as examples in the second paragraph. In the third paragraph, we can take 1 or 2 sentences from the first and second paragraph and conclude in the third paragraph. We need not write any new points in the third paragraph, and that is why it is called the conclusion. So the structure of expansion of idea has to be divided into 3 different paragraphs. There is no need to leave a line after each paragraph, but we need to write it clearly and visibly. Let us discuss the rules or 2 key areas which are essential to write expansion of idea. So what is paragraph 1? What do we need to do in paragraph 1? We need to write the meaning of the proverb. Therefore, we need to understand the meaning of the proverb first, and then we need to explain it in our own words. But most of the students face that as a challenge. They do not understand the meaning of the proverb, and therefore they are unable to expand the idea. Worry not, it will be explained in this video. What is paragraph 2? The paragraph 2 is the second challenge that students face. The second challenge is to develop the content or material for the second paragraph. Now let's see how we can solve this issue for the students. Let us deal with each area systematically. First, let us find the meaning of the proverb. Now, in order to find the meaning of the proverb, it is essential to pick out keyword. So, rule number 1 is the keyword method. Every proverb has keywords in which the meaning is conveyed silently or the meaning is hidden. For example, here on my screen, I have a proverb which is handsome is handsome does. So, what I do is I underline handsome and I underline does. So this is my keyword. I pick out the keywords and underline it. Then I think of words related to the keyword. So what do you mean by handsome? Handsome is naturally good looks or appearance. What do you mean by does? Does is doing or deeds. Now after thinking of words related to the keywords, I get a fair idea of the meaning. Therefore, I use that meaning to create an introduction. How do I create an introduction? Simple, just by elaborating it. So, the deeds of a person are more important than looks. One should not give importance to the appearance of a person, but one should give importance to the deeds of the person. So this is what basically I will write in my first paragraph. Let us now discuss example number 2. Remember, this is the keyword method and the steps to be followed are: pick out the keywords. Now, my second example is Rome was not built in a day. So, I need to pick out the keywords. What are the keywords that I would underline? Rome. What is Rome? Rome is a beautiful city or a great city. Not built means not created. In a day means in a short period of time. Now, after thinking of the words related to the keywords, I get a fair idea of the meaning. Therefore, we use all the keywords and the meaning related to the keywords to build or create an introductory paragraph. Now, what will I write in my introductory paragraph? I would say the meaning of this proverb is: anything great cannot be built in a short period of time. Therefore, one must be consistent in his or her efforts, and one is required to accomplish something great only and only by hard work. Another method of expansion of idea is through moral story method. Now, if we know the moral story, we get a clear picture of what the proverb would be. Now, make hay while the sun shines. This proverb could be associated with the moral story Ant and the Grasshopper. So, if you know the story, you could find out the meaning of this proverb, make hay while the sun shines. You can give this story as an example while you are expanding the idea in 3 different paragraphs. So let me quickly tell you what is the story all about. So there's an ant and a grasshopper. The ant slogs day in and day out, looks for food here and there, while the grasshopper is recklessly playing around and not doing any work. The ant tells the grasshopper, please look for some food, to which the grasshopper says, it's not my duty to look for food, and he was not bothered about the future. When winters came, the ant had enough food to eat, whereas the grasshopper was hungry and stayed hungry throughout winter. So we can use this story to elaborate or expand the proverb, make hay while the sun shines, successfully. Therefore, my dear students, by using keyword method and moral story method, we can easily find any meaning of any proverb and expand it correctly in 3 paragraphs. Now, while developing paragraph 2, there are 2 things you can focus on. Let us discuss what are those 2 things. First, give short examples of lives of famous people. Do not write the entire biography of the person. Instead, give a 3 or 4 line summary and then explain how is the proverb related to the story. Next, you can develop paragraph 2 by using current national or international events or incidents. We can use any relevant incident which has to be true and expand our paragraph number 2. Let us discuss or expand the proverb, prevention is better than cure. So we sometimes handle a knife carelessly, cut our fingers, allow the cut to go septic, and when the pain is unbearable, consult a doctor. The doctor prescribes a prolonged and costly treatment. Wouldn't it have been better for us to have taken due precaution while using the knife? In fact, we can always protect ourselves against common ailments and diseases by resorting to proper precautionary preventive measures. We often, very often, we are careless and do things thoughtlessly. We ignore signs that indicate the possibility trouble. Finally, when the trouble occurs, we regret our neglect, but by then it's too late. The proverb, prevention is better than cure, advises us to take necessary steps to stop something unpleasant from happening. Thank you. This proverb has application in the proper maintenance of machines, buildings, roads, or bridges, in the averting of natural calamities, in prevention of epidemic outbreaks, and even at the political and national level. The proverb stresses the need for foresight and precaution in dealing with every situation in our lives in order to avoid facing misery and searching for expensive remedies later on. That's all for now, students. We have completed our lesson, expansion of idea. Please remember the two methods, that is moral story method and keyword method, and use it while you're writing your paper. All the best for your exams. Do well. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Thank you.